My objective here today is kind of bring this back to the farm and the farm level. And so what I want to do is share some of our experiences with the PRRS ARC project in northern Illinois, and then and maybe talk to you a little bit about what we've seen over the past 4 years. And we've kind of developed like 4 or 10 principles, key principles as we went through this project. We've written them down as we see their success to our project. I'd like to illustrate some of the value to our area participants, and then discuss how we're using this project for PED. So central leadership, key principle number 1, central leadership that is 100% committed to the cause is the essential key that continues to drive the process forward, as this project is a marathon, not a sprint. And so we believe these projects, some start out fast, like ours in DeKalb County, but there'll be some bumps along the road, so you have to tell people right up front, this is going to take a while. I wanted to illustrate we have 2 projects actually that we are part of in northern Illinois. The Northeast Illinois project, primarily DeKalb County, started in 2010, roughly 86 active sites right now, and then Northwest Illinois, primarily Carroll County, and the reason for that is the producers that receive pigs from DeKalb County, we send roughly 100,000 pigs out that way, said why not us, why can't we start a project if we're receiving all these negative pigs from DeKalb County, so we started a project out there. And so when I say 100% commitment, centrally located, what does that mean? How is that a key? Well, in DeKalb County is where we exist. Our coordinator's there, even though she coordinates out in Northwest Illinois. It's just easier if everything is right there. To be honest with you, where we work with the producers, 80-90% of the producers in DeKalb County we work with day in and day out, where in Northwest Illinois that we don't work with that percentage of producer. So commitment is certainly a part of this, and we saw that in our Northeast Illinois project as we began seeing some PED. We started to send out alerts and notifications of these positive farms. Again, we had the database, we had all the framework, the structure to do this from our PRRS ARC project, and then producers and our partners in the area, they really were familiar with this concept and format. And then we began adding some additional allied industry people to this this notification also. And that was really because we felt that with this virus and how easy it may move, certainly in the wintertime on trucks, different employees, we need to contact more people and get them involved. Make sure these people know that where they're going to, the negative farm or a positive site, and where they should go to first. So it was a little bit of education there. Key principle number 2 was really strong communication. We've talked about this already today, and transparency are essential to promote and strengthen buy-in. Certainly we felt that was vital between veterinarians, between producers. We share our findings, our successes, our failures in the ARC project with producers every day on our visits, and certainly wanted to increase our sharing with our partners in the area. And then we understand that these projects are a lot about relationship with people, and success is possible in PED, we believe, as it is as it was in PRRS. And so what are the benefits of an ARC project that's set up? Our channels of communication are there, emails, addresses, we have all those, we have all the site information, all we need to do is plug in who's positive or negative. The producers have the mentality, they're ready for this type of thing, they want to know who's positive, they're willing to share. And so we send out this change in status update. If we're having a PRRS break, PED break, we send out a notification letter, and actually these producers demand this now. And also we have the ability then to send out testing reminders. So if we have, if we want to focus on high-risk sites, we can do that. Someone's went positive for PED, we want to know if they've removed it, so we can send out reminders for them to keep testing. And this would be an example of our break notice that we send out to our producers. If someone breaks, we tell them the exact site, the coordinates, what township, county that they're in, what kind of production system, and then the notification date. And really, again, we want to be very transparent, so we encourage them to call us if they have any questions at all about where these sites are at. I mentioned also transparency. Again, when we started the project, or we started with PRRS, our PED, when we rolled it into PED, we said, okay, what we need to do, even before we get a positive confirmation from the diagnostic lab, we need a first alert. So we need to contact everybody involved with these farms, especially a sow farm, the feed company, boar stud, all these hands that touch these farms, and tell them there's a possibility here. We can always go back and say, hey, it was a negative, so everything's good, but we need to give them the first alert. No producer has refused to test or share. They're all very willing. Notifications go out as soon as a producer is notified that he has a positive sample. And what we also do is, just because we didn't sign disclosure forms like we did with PRRS, we just do a verbal with our producers to say, hey, you do have a positive. Are you okay to share this information with the rest of the producers in the area? Key principle number 3. To quickly identify and respond to new PRRS breaks, and this would be with surveillance, a surveillance plan. We would want to continue testing before, during, and after we've stabilized or eliminated the virus from the site. So again, this concept's maybe a little hard to understand. I'll give you an example. We've had sites where the sow farm went negative. They because of cost or whatever, stopped testing. They use a lot of modified live vaccine. We don't get one of these roaring tiger viruses come through, so it's very subtle. What happens is you end up passing that virus downstream and infecting a couple other sites. So now we try to continue to these high-risk areas to remind people of the importance of surveillance testing. These are just maps where we started in 2010. It wasn't as complicated. It seemed like there was positive, negative, there was unknown, or people may not want to participate. And then as we got into the project and we found that our project started as an area regional control and elimination project, and as people decided that the elimination was maybe not the way they wanted to go because they wanted to keep modified live vaccine on board, we had to kind of change our symbols here, and so, yellow would be modified live vaccine. There would be no evidence of wild-type PRRS virus on the site, but yet, if there was, we would have we'd make it kind of orange or rust color. One thing I have to point out about this is that this red color, you don't see red on these maps anymore, and that's because it's kind of an embarrassment now. This has really forced people to do something. You don't want to be the person that's in red. So we've taken the same concept over to PED, where we map our positive sites. This is not only would the producer get a notice, but they could also get this visual of where their sites are, and you can kind of see they're kind of clustered together. Some areas more highly populated than others. Key principle number 4, all breeding stock entering the area should be tested PRRS negative prior to entering the sow farm, and I think most people are doing that now in the industry. Of course, it's very easy to do with testing. We can get results back pretty fast. I would point out for us, in the last few years, our testing costs have went up as we've tried to search out for these viruses and PRRS virus infected sites, or a new virus coming in, instead of just letting it happen. So we've kind of changed that philosophy. But again, I think the producers are happy with the results of this project. Key principle number 5, sow herds that become infected with field virus must move to a stabilization plan, followed by an effort to eliminate the virus from the sow farm. And why is that? Well, in our charts here that we have an ongoing that we show, where we look at 15,000 sows where we can kind of monitor them, and then like 400,000 pigs that we close out per year that we kind of follow the closeouts through as they come. We went back a year ahead of the project, starting back in 2009, kind of plotted that data, and then followed it through after we began our ARC project. You can see many benefits here. We've had obviously some hills and some valleys. This is not all due to PRRS. I mean, all the benefits not due to PRRS. We've changed some genetics to bring in some negative sources of guilt, but also there's other diseases involved in here too, as you can see with PED that kind of mimics one of the slides that Dr. Paulson had. So key principle number 6, once our nursery finisher sites have a known source of negative pigs, so the sow farm they're getting pigs from has went negative, they are encouraged to eliminate the virus from their site. And really that is to reduce shedding and spread to their neighbor, but also because there's a benefit to them. So we look at one producer who, each one of these bars would represent 3,000 pigs. Group 36 would be a positive group for PRRS, and as we eliminated PRRS out of this system, we can see some nice savings on treatment costs. And we've tried to do this for more producers and even break it down farther so they can really see the benefits of these types of programs. Key principle number 7, with the area free of PRRS positive breeding stock and a limited number of weaning pigs coming into our area, so we're a net exporter. We import roughly 30,000 pigs into the area, and we do know the status of those pigs coming in, a good relationship with those people. Our most serious risk here may be contaminated butcher trucks. And so, like everyone, our goal has been to get 100% of those washed, disinfected, and dried prior to loading. And so certainly with the onset of PED, this was hard to do with PRRS, but now with the onset of PED, this has become much easier. Illustrate that with this. This was a picture that was sent to me. A farmer had rejected this trailer. And this was in the summer, last summer. Of course, if it had been the beginning of this year, that guy probably would have said, well, this is probably from cattle. The floor looks clean. Let's load these pigs. But now with the improvements in the stressing of biosecurity, this truck is no longer acceptable. Key principle number 8, for PRRS, the use of modified live vaccine is a valuable tool to reduce the shedding within and the spread from infected sites, as well as reducing the severity of breaks with the new field virus introductions. And so as we look at new viruses that come in every year, producers will ask us every once in a while, can we drop vaccine? Do you ever think we can? They see this type of thing where a new virus comes in every year and they kind of change their mind. You know, we always need to be prepared, and our ideal is to stop this virus at one farm. It comes into one farm, it stays there, and we try to knock it out as soon as possible. And I think we've been pretty successful at getting producers to do this, to use vaccine as a tool in our elimination plans. And we're roughly 80% on the sow farm vaccinated, and our wean to finish sites vaccinated. And of course, we believe this has certainly helped us with our improvements in production numbers. Key principle number 9, as far as PRRS goes, an ARC project, we've asked that producers no longer use live virus inoculation, because we believe that when you inoculate a herd, you can start spreading that virus around. And in this case, I've showed a densely populated area within our ARC project, 5 sow farms and a filtered gilt developer unit. This sow farm, for example, went ahead and inoculated with live virus inoculation. This was right before our project began, and actually caused this 3,000 sow farm a couple miles away to become infected. And so this was already in place kind of before we got started, that this may not be a good idea. We certainly had to work through it with some of the producers that had only used live virus inoculation and believed that there was benefit to it. Key principle number 10, as many have found, filters in high important sites such as boar studs, gill breeding units, and some sow farms in high-risk exposures are very helpful. We've certainly found that in the same kind of view that I was showing before on a satellite. This is our gill developer. These farms have broke with PED. Some of them all of them have broke with PRRS. And some of them have broke a PED, and this farm remains negative here. And so we're pretty happy with the thought that when we started the ARC project, we thought this is one of the farms that needed to be filtered, and so they went ahead and put filters on it and have had great success.